I now invite Clyde Bailey to come forward to light the chalice and lead us in our affirmation of covenant, which is in your order of service.
I light this chalice with these words. Open your eyes to see what is beautiful. Open your minds to learn what is true. Open your hearts to love one another. Oh, I forgot to do the important thing. Please join me in the affirmation of covenant, which you will find in the order of service, saying, love is the doctrine of this church. The trust for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other.
At First Unitarian Universalist Church of New Orleans, we had a food ministry that we called Feed Justice. It came about because of a partnership that began with the restoration of their building after Hurricane Katrina. Crescent Care, a federally qualified health center that provides high-quality, affordable health care and supportive services to vulnerable members of the community, began as No AIDS, an AIDS care organization, and later expanded its services to people without AIDS but with similar needs. In the flood, they lost the kitchen for their meal delivery service, Food for Friends. The church created space for them in its renovation plan, which Crescent Care fitted out with a full commercial-grade kitchen with an adjacent office. The kitchen was available for church use outside of weekday business hours. The church's vision from the beginning was to put that gift to use in some sort of food ministry in the community. One of Feed Justice's programs was a monthly community dinner. Church volunteers, including 2 or 3 church members with catering experience, 2 of whom also volunteered at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum, would prepare a meal for the 30 or so people who came regularly, a mix of church members and folks from the neighborhood. And once in a while, we had a short program after dinner, usually a presentation or panel discussing a food justice-related community issue. We put out a basket for voluntary donations. We're clear that the donations were voluntary, and that if you couldn't donate, you were still welcome to join us for the meal. We never came up short. You will not be surprised to learn that it was our ritual to sing grace before dinner. You know the one. Join me. Oh, we give thanks. I sing it and you sing it back to me. You know it, you just don't know how. Okay. Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For all gathered here.
For all gathered here.
And those far away.
And those far away.
For this time we share.
For this time we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
When it was time for grace, I got used to making this invitation. Let's all form a shape that we will declare to be a circle. It was an invitation to open an imperfect, fallible, and human, inclusive community. Such an invitation need not be sung or even spoken. I've expressed my admiration from time to time for the way we all pitch in to set up and take down tables and chairs for potlucks, or a circle of chairs for our 10 o'clock Sunday forum. It seems like nobody has to ask and it all gets done. I know that some asking does take place, but not everyone who helps was specifically asked. Instead, some show up and say, "How can I help?" This is not a ritual we have, but a cultural practice, and it's a good one. For the Sunday Forum, we set up a circle of chairs, enough to accommodate the median attendance with some extra. Sometimes the featured speaker draws a bigger crowd. I feel sure we've all at some or another time and place experienced a circle with not enough chairs for all those who showed up, and those already seated feel awkward, not equipped or empowered to address the situation. They look around for more chairs without getting up. They scooch their chairs one way or another to widen the circle. And maybe on a fortunate occasion, there is one person who knows where the chairs are. It can seem like in that place, newcomers were not expected or planned for. Not here. The chairs at Forum are already set up with space to enter the circle. If more are needed, several of us swiftly and confidently get them, adding them to the circle or creating a second or even third row at 1/4 of the circumference, all done with a smile. In fact, those chairs are often, the chair rack is out in the room where everybody can see it. Here, creating an open circle, imperfect, fallible, human, and welcoming, is a cultural practice. And this is how values are lived. The words and rituals and songs help, but you really know a value is lived when it is expressed warmly through what we do, how we respond, as if by muscle memory. St. Francis is supposed to have said, "Preach the gospel at all times, use words if necessary." This is what he was getting at. In our recent building renovation, we expanded this sanctuary, improved accessibility, and created gender-free restrooms. That, too, was a wordless commitment to inclusion. One can tell because along with those physical accommodations came swiftly a warm, confident way of moving and being in even the most innovative of these spaces. My colleague, the Reverend Tess Baumberger, has written that as communities of faith, our value of inclusion calls us to accept and support each other on our spiritual journeys. Nothing says this will be easy, but, she wrote, any religion worth its salt should take us beyond our comfort zones and challenge us to grow. And I have noticed that when we grow, we tend to become comfortable addressing what we used to feel awkward about. And that can be catching. When we show in our actions and responses that awkwardness is optional and not necessary, that diversity and difference and spiritual growth can find a warm welcome, we thereby invite each other to grow into inclusion as a value and to develop the muscle memory to live it. As you heard earlier in the service, another circle we are now in the process of widening is our lifespan program for religious education and exploration. You might have noticed or heard tell of how crowded the nursery is on Sundays. I think that was mentioned this morning. Our single all-age class is now at a point where it needs to be more than one class. For the first time since the pandemic, we are beginning to need more teachers and committee members as well. We envision having more than one religious education class during the 10 o'clock hour, and as Finn described, a second religious exploration period during this hour, the 11 o'clock hour. Children would join families in the sanctuary for the beginning of the service, and then after the time altogether, they would proceed to an activity outdoors, if the weather permits, for religious exploration and community. All of this is still in the discussion stage. Some of it is being implemented, but we're still working out the rest of it. And we welcome all your thoughts and ideas about it if you have some to share with us. You might remember a little while back, we had a big brainstorming meeting about our lifespan religious education and exploration offerings. As we expand the circle of the children's program, we see an opportunity to provide more support, structure, and coordination of our adult religious education and exploration programming as well. The board's executive team and the staff are working together to design good structures and practices to invite and facilitate this expansion and potential coordination of Lifespan RE offerings. So watch and listen this spring for invitations to participate in and contribute to the design and implementation of all these changes. Whatever else is going on in the world around us, this is a good time to get involved in these programs that nurture our own spiritual growth and help us learn about, accept, and support each other's spiritual journeys. That nurture and mutual understanding equip us to cope with challenging times. And we will discover more ways to live into all of our values, and especially that of inclusion, I believe, as we expand our concept and circle of a shared ministry of lifespan religious education and exploration. Now, be warned that, like every open circle, it will be imperfect and fallible, in a word, human, but also know that you are being invited to another way of being and moving toward spiritual growth. Let us make it, like our other good circles, a warm, confident, friendly circle of learning. Another cultural practice that models by muscle memory the beloved community we are ever striving to be. So may it be. Amen.
I would invite Clyde up, but we have a magically extinguishing chalice. We know we carry that in our hearts, so let's join together in our closing words. Go out into the world in peace, have courage, hold on to what is good, return to no one evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings.
And may we live our shared values by muscle memory.